They were not supposed to leave yet. The albums were not finished. The films were not made. The children were not raised. In this video, we visit the graves of icons gone too soon. Bob Marley died May 11, 1981, age 36, buried at a mausoleum at 9 Mile, St. Anne Parish, Jamaica. Diagnosed with melanoma under a toenail in 1977 and refusing amputation, touring for 3 more years as the cancer spread to his lungs, liver, and brain, collapsing while jogging in Central Park. 3 million attending his state funeral, his mausoleum holding a Bible open to Psalm 23, and his red Gibson Les Paul. Marvin Gaye died April 1, 1984, age 44. Cremated, ashes scattered in the Pacific Ocean. Shot by his father, Marvin Gaye Sr., the day before his 45th birthday with a gun Marvin had given him as a Christmas present. The argument between parents escalating until the father pulled the trigger, convicted of voluntary manslaughter, receiving probation. Jim Morrison died July 3, 1971, age 27. Buried at Père Lachaise Cemetery, Paris, France. Found dead in the bathtub by Pamela Courson. No autopsy performed, having fled to Paris to escape the doors. The circumstances debated for over 50 years. His grave one of the most visited in the world. Security cameras monitoring it. The cemetery threatening to remove his remains. Karen Carpenter died February 4, 1983, age 32. Buried at Pierce Brothers Valley Oaks Memorial Park, Westlake Village, California. Died of cardiac arrest from emetine cardiotoxicity caused by years of ipecac abuse. One of the finest drummers in pop music destroyed by a disease the country did not take seriously until she was gone. Her death forcing the national conversation about anorexia. Patsy Cline died March 13, 1963, age 30. Buried at Shenandoah Memorial Park, Winchester, Virginia. Killed when the Piper Comanche crashed into a Tennessee hillside in poor weather alongside Hawkshaw Hawkins and Cowboy Copas, having survived a near-fatal car accident 2 years earlier. Recording for less than 6 years and defining what a woman could do in country music. Juice WRLD died December 8, 2019, age 21. Buried at Homewood Memorial Gardens, Homewood, Illinois. Suffered a seizure at Midway Airport after reportedly swallowing Percocet pills to hide them from federal agents searching his jet. The rapper whose lucid dreams resonated with a generation. Legends never die, debuting at #1 posthumously. Mac Miller died September 7, 2018, age 26. Buried in an unmarked grave at Homewood Cemetery, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Killed by fentanyl pressed into a counterfeit oxycodone pill at his Studio City home. His dealer convicted. Circles completed by John Bryan and debuting at #3. The boy from Pittsburgh buried where he started, near the park, whose blue slide gave his debut its name. Stevie Ray Vaughan died August 27, 1990, age 35. Buried at Laurel Land Memorial Park, Dallas, Texas. 3 years sober and at the peak of his powers after performing alongside Clapton, Cray, and Buddy Guy at Alpine Valley. His helicopter crashing into a man-made ski hill beside the venue in fog moments after takeoff. The man who beat addiction, killed by the thing no one saw coming. Lisa Left Eye Lopes died April 25, 2002, age 30. Buried at Hillendale Memorial Gardens, Lithonia, Georgia. The most dynamic member of TLC who set fire to Andre Rison's mansion by lighting his sneakers in a bathtub. Killed in a car crash on a Honduran highway while filming a spiritual documentary. TLC having sold over 85 million records. Brandon Lee died March 31, 1993, age 28. Buried at Lakeview Cemetery, Seattle, Washington, beside his father, Bruce Lee. Shot during filming of The Crow, when a bullet fragment lodged in a prop gun barrel was fired into his abdomen, the film completed with doubles and digital effects. Father and son resting side by side, neither reaching 33. Avicii died April 20th, 2018, age 28. Buried at Hedvig Eleonora Churchyard, Stockholm, Sweden. The Swedish DJ behind Wake Me Up in Levels, who retired from touring at 26 citing mental health and chronic pancreatitis, found dead in Muscat, Oman from self-inflicted injuries. his family saying he could not go on any longer and wanted to find peace. Nipsey Hussle died March 31, 2019, age 33, buried at Forest Lawn Hollywood Hills, Los Angeles, California. Shot outside his Marathon clothing store in Crenshaw by Eric Holder, the rapper who chose to stay in the neighborhood and invest rather than leave. His funeral at the Staples Center drawing 21,000 and a 25-mile procession, the intersection renamed in his honor. Chris Cornell died May 18, 2017, age 52, buried at Hollywood Forever Cemetery, Los Angeles, California, found dead from hanging in his Detroit hotel room after a full Soundgarden concert. His wife believing anti-anxiety medication impaired his judgment. Chester Bennington singing Hallelujah at his funeral, then hanging himself on Cornell's birthday 2 months later. Selena Quintanilla died March 31, 1995, age 23, buried at Seaside Memorial Park, Corpus Christi, Texas, shot by fan club president Yolanda Saldivar at a Days Inn over embezzled funds, running to the lobby for help before collapsing, Dreaming of You debuting at #1 posthumously. The Queen of Tejano killed at 23 before the crossover that would have changed everything. Aaliyah died August 25, 2001, age 22, entombed at Ferncliff Cemetery, Hartsdale, New York. Killed when an overloaded Cessna crashed after takeoff from the Bahamas, the pilot unlicensed, the plane hundreds of pounds over its weight limit. The Princess of R&B dying at 22 because nobody said no. Buddy Holly died February 3, 1959, age 22, buried at City of Lubbock Cemetery, Lubbock, Texas. Killed in a plane crash near Clear Lake, Iowa, alongside Richie Valens and the Big Bopper, because he did not want to ride the bus, Don McLean calling it the day the music died. Married 6 months, his wife Maria. Elena miscarrying after learning of his death. Jimi Hendrix died September 18, 1970, age 27. Buried at Greenwood Memorial Park, Renton, Washington. Found unresponsive at Monica Danneman's London flat after taking barbiturates and drinking wine, choking on his own vomit at 27. Electric Lady Studios, which he had built and opened weeks before, still operating. Otis Redding died December 10, 1967, age 26. Buried at Lincoln Memorial Garden Cemetery, Macon, Georgia. Killed when his plane crashed into Lake Monona near Madison, Wisconsin, having recorded sitting on the dock of the bay 3 days earlier. The whistle at the end, a placeholder for lyrics he never got to add. The most iconic ending in soul music in Unfinished Thought. Sam Cooke died December 11, 1964, age 33. Buried at Forest Lawn Memorial Park, Glendale, California. Last seen at Martoni's Italian restaurant, before being shot at the Hacienda Motel by manager Bertha Franklin in circumstances his family never accepted. A Change Is Gonna Come. Released after his death, the man who sang about change killed before it arrived. Brian Jones died July 3, 1969, age 27. Buried at Cheltenham Cemetery, Cheltenham, England. Found drowned in the swimming pool at Cotchford Farm, 1 month after being fired from the Rolling Stones he had founded. The circumstances never fully explained. The man who put the band together dying as they moved on without him. Keith Moon died September 7, 1978, age 32. Cremated, ashes scattered at Golders Green Crematorium, London. The Who's drummer dying from an overdose of heminurin prescribed to combat his alcoholism, in the same Belgravia flat where Cass Elliot had died 4 years earlier. The most destructive drummer in rock destroyed by a drug prescribed to stop him from destroying himself. Cass Elliot died July 29, 1974, age 32. Cremated, interred at Mount Sinai Memorial Park, Los Angeles, California. Died in her sleep from heart failure after a sold-out triumph at the London Palladium, the best reviews of her career, in a Belgravia flat loaned by Harry Nilsson. The ham sandwich myth entirely false, the cruelest lie ever attached to a death in music. Ian Curtis died May 18, 1980, age 23. Buried at Macclesfield Cemetery, Macclesfield, England. The Joy Division frontman found hanged in his kitchen the night before the band's first American tour, having watched Strasek and listened to Iggy Pop's The Idiot. Love Will Tear Us Apart, released the following month. River Phoenix died October 31st, 1993, age 23. Cremated, ashes scattered at the family ranch, Gainesville, Florida. Collapsed outside the Viper Room on Halloween night from cocaine and heroin, brother Joaquin calling 911, sister Rain trying to keep him breathing. The most promising young actor of his generation dying on a nightclub sidewalk. Heath Ledger died January 22, 2008, age 28, buried at Karrakatta Cemetery, Perth, Western Australia. Found dead in his Soho loft from 6 prescription medications. Finishing The Dark Knight, whose Joker would win the posthumous Oscar, his daughter Matilda, 2 years old. The Oscar accepted by his family with his chair empty. Princess Diana died August 31, 1997, age 36, buried on an island at Althorpe Estate, Northamptonshire, England. Killed when the Mercedes struck the 13th pillar of the Pont de l'Alma tunnel after leaving the Ritz just after midnight, her funeral drawing 2.5 billion viewers. Her brother burying her on an island so she would finally be left alone. Kobe Bryant died January 26, 2020, age 41, buried at Pacific View Memorial Park, Corona del Mar, California. Killed with his daughter Gianna and 7 others when their helicopter crashed into a Calabasas hillside in fog, the memorial at the Staples Center on 2/24/20, reflecting their jersey numbers. A father and daughter dying on a Sunday morning, doing something as ordinary as driving to a game. Chadwick Boseman died August 28, 2020, age 43, buried at Welfare Baptist Church Cemetery, Belton, South Carolina. Filming Black Panther and multiple Marvel films during 4 years of colon cancer surgery and chemotherapy, telling almost no one, the world learning he was sick and dead simultaneously. The king of a fictional nation buried at a church cemetery in rural South Carolina. Sharon Tate died August 9, 1969, age 26, buried at Holy Cross Cemetery, Culver City, California. Murdered at 150 Cielo Drive by Manson family, members while 8 months pregnant, 5 people killed, pig written in blood on the front door. The house demolished in 1994, the address changed. Amy Winehouse died July 23, 2011, age 27. Buried at Edgware Bury Cemetery, Edgware, London. Found dead in her Camden Town flat from alcohol poisoning after abstinence. Her blood alcohol 5 times the legal limit. The tabloids having documented every stumble. 5 Grammys in one night, 3 years before her death. Prince died April 21, 2016, age 57. Cremated, ashes held at Paisley Park, Chanhassen, Minnesota. Found dead in an elevator at Paisley Park from fentanyl in counterfeit pills, taken for chronic hip pain, having hosted a dance party the night before and told guests to wait a few days before wasting prayers, almost no one knowing he was in pain. Nick Drake died November 25, 1974, age 26. Buried at St. Mary Magdalene Church, Tanworth in Arden, Warwickshire, England. Pink Moon, 5 Leaves Left, and brighter later commercial failures during his lifetime. Dying from an amitriptyline overdose at 26, his records selling millions after his death. The quietest artist in English music dying the quietest way. Jeff Buckley died May 29, 1997, age 30, buried at Gate of Heaven. Cemetery, Silver Spring, Maryland. Drowned in the Wolf River Harbor of the Mississippi in Memphis while wading in fully clothed singing Whole Lotta Love, pulled under by the wake of a passing boat. His father, Tim Buckley, dying of a heroin overdose at 28. 2 generations of extraordinary voices ending too soon. Elliott Smith died October 21, 2003, age 34. Cremated, ashes scattered at a private location. Found dead from 2 stab wounds to the chest in his Los Angeles home, the coroner unable to determine whether the wounds were self-inflicted or homicidal, having performed between the bars at the Academy Awards. The case remaining open. Bon Scott died February 19, 1980, age 33. Buried at Fremantle Cemetery, Fremantle, Western Australia. Found dead in a car outside a friend's London home after a night of heavy drinking, left overnight because the friend assumed he was sleeping it off. Back in Black, recorded with Brian Johnson 5 months later, becoming one of the best-selling albums in history. Pop Smoke died February 19, 2020, age 20, buried at Greenwood Cemetery, Brooklyn, New York. The Brooklyn drill pioneer, shot during a home invasion at a rented Hollywood Hills house, whose address was revealed on social media. The most exciting new voice in New York hip-hop, killed at 20. His posthumous debut reaching #1. Freddie Mercury died November 24, 1991, age 45. Cremated, ashes scattered at an undisclosed location known only to Mary Austin. Announcing his AIDS diagnosis on November 23rd and dying the following evening, recording vocals propped against the mixing desk until he could no longer stand. The most theatrical performer in rock history disappearing completely. His final act, the most private thing he ever did. XXXTentacion died June 18, 2018, age 20. Buried at Gardens of Boca Raton Memorial Park, Boca Raton, Florida. Shot during a robbery outside a Deerfield Beach motorcycle dealership at 20, the polarizing rapper whose music veered between extreme aggression and vulnerability, generating more streams after death than most artists alive. Graham Parsons died September 19, 1973, age 26. Remains at Garden of Memories Cemetery, Metairie, Louisiana. Dying of a morphine and alcohol overdose at the Joshua Tree Inn, his road manager stealing his body from LAX and burning it in the desert to honor his wishes. Fined $750 for coffin theft. Room 8, still bookable. Phil Hartman died May 28, 1998, age 49. Cremated, ashes scattered at Emerald Bay, Catalina Island. Shot in his sleep by his wife Bryn, who then killed herself, their children asleep down the hall. 8 seasons on SNL. The Simpsons retiring Troy McClure and Lionel Hutz permanently. The most ordinary evening interrupted by the person who was supposed to share it. John Belushi died March 5, 1982, age 33. Buried at Abels Hill Cemetery, Chilmark, Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts. Died from a speedball injection at Bungalow 3 of the Chateau Marmont administered by Kathy Smith, the SNL and Blues Brothers star whose physical comedy made him the biggest comedy star in America. Fans leaving bottles and Blues Brothers sunglasses at his grave. Natalie Wood died November 29, 1981, age 43. Buried at Westwood Village Memorial Park, Los Angeles, California. Found floating in a nightgown near the Yacht de Splendor off Catalina Island, terrified of water her entire life, Robert Wagner named a person of interest in 2018 but never charged. How she ended up in the water, never established. Richie Valens died February 3, 1959, age 17. Buried at San Fernando Mission Cemetery, Mission Hills, California. Killed in the same plane crash as Buddy Holly and the Big Bopper near Clear Lake, Iowa, La Bamba, and Donna, making him the first Mexican-American rock star. Dead at 17 after a recording career of 8 months. Bill Hicks died February 26, 1994, age 32. Buried at the family plot in Leakesville, Mississippi. The most dangerous comedian of his generation, whose material about politics, religion, and American culture was too provocative for network television, dying of pancreatic cancer at 32, having been cut from Letterman. His final Letterman appearance restored to the archive 15 years after his death. Hank Williams died January 1, 1953, age 29. Buried at Oakwood Cemetery Annex, Montgomery, Alabama. Injected with morphine before being driven to a concert, too sick to fly, his driver noticing he had stopped moving in the back seat and pulling over in Oak Hill, West Virginia. His funeral drawing 25,000. The man who sang, "I'm so lonesome, I could cry," dying alone in a car in the dark. Kurt Cobain died April 5, 1994, age 27. Cremated. A portion of ashes scattered at Lakeview Cemetery, Seattle. Remainder to family. Escaped from rehab in Los Angeles on April 1st. His body not found for 3 days in the greenhouse above his Seattle garage with a shotgun and a suicide note quoting Neil Young. The greenhouse demolished, fans gathering at a bench in Veretta Park. John Lennon died December 8, 1980, age 40. Cremated, ashes scattered in Central Park, New York. Had just released Double Fantasy after 5 years of retirement raising his son. Shot 4 times in the archway of the Dakota at 10:50 p.m. by Chapman, who had asked for his autograph 6 hours earlier. The building refusing to permit a plaque for 45 years. Chester Bennington died July 20th, 2017, age 41. Cremated, ashes given to family. The Lincoln Park frontman found dead from hanging at his Palos Verdes home on what would have been Cornell's 53rd birthday. Hybrid Theory having sold over 30 million copies. Two friends dying the same way 2 months apart.